maybe opening doors in Higurashi isn't the best idea, as even though they did slap us with that whole to be continued cliffhanger, which honestly had me dead, I was like, of course. Of all the places you could end a cliffhanger, you had to do it just as we open the door and make it feel so ominous as if opening a door is going to open up a new web of horrifying mysteries that we probably don't want to see but kind of do want to see because luckily we're not Keiichi and we're not the one getting stabbed or stabbing or anything like that. This episode of Higurashi definitely had my mind racing and actually cleared up the whole Mion and Xion situation a lot quicker than I assumed was going to happen, and I don't know if that's how quickly it was revealed in the original or not. If not, I expect maybe some OG watchers are going to be disappointed by how quickly the mystery of are they the same person or are they different people got revealed. For me personally, I like it because I firmly believe that we're going to have probably at least a few more episodes before maybe even understanding what's going on with the whole sister dilemma. And for me personally, I think I would have grown stale to it if it was any longer. I actually was really relieved to see like, oh, they're just blatantly telling us two separate people here. Honestly, to me, opened up way more mysteries because if they were the same person, I think I would have had a hard time trusting Mion or Xion. I would say, oh, clearly she's mentally unstable. There's a split personality, there's all these things happening, right? There's just a lot of ways for me to, I feel like, accurately predict where they would take that character arc. By having them be separate, it definitely has this jealousy angle to me. The fact that we have Xion actually going to the store to get the exact same doll that was given to Mion, like, it feels to me as if they're really trying to force a jealousy angle, as if, like, hey, there's two separate perspectives with these sisters, one of which trying to keep the mystery of this town a secret from Keiichi. The other wants the secret to be known, and it feels very uncertain. I don't really know which side really has the best interest in mind. I'm curious if each sister truly aren't possessed, as you would say in this series, or they honestly do want the best for this man, because anytime you see those, like, they don't show the eyes, they're always looking down, they dim the screen, they give it a slight little blush, but overall it just feels like any of these characters, the way they look at certain people or the way they respond to our main character, it feels as if they could easily kill him. And that's a very uncertain and horrifying feeling that Higurashi has done a great job at. We learn a hell of a lot in this episode. I mean, they really beat us over the head with this festival, and we get a lot of information that honestly makes it feel even worse than I could possibly imagine. Just the whole idea that this festival, the town, what's going to happen? Someone's going to be offered as a sacrifice, someone's going to get murdered. And the logical viewpoint is someone's doing it in the town. It's not like there's a curse because, well, that just seems a little silly because for these characters, they're not in anime, curses can't exist. So it's very interesting how Keiichi kind of sides almost immediately with the normal kind of logical thought process, which obviously makes Xion very happy, but Mion probably very deranged, is probably the best way to put it. I kind of have the feeling whichever side he decided to walk with would probably end up making the other side want to kill him. I feel like we're about to see Mion snap and probably stab our boy or something to that nature. That's just my prediction. I don't think when he opens up that door he's going to get killed or like Xion or the photographer or his lady friend's going to do anything. But then again, anything is possible. But it just feels to me every time we open these doors, it just lets out a new ghostly goblin of some sort that's going to make something horrifying happen. And I feel like this arc is going to come to an end next episode, or maybe there'll be more episodes for this whole sister arc. But overall, it just feels to me like it's not wasting time, but it's not going so fast that you can't take a breather. I mean, in this episode, they have just as many cute and comfy moments and even creepy moments with the honestly ugly bastards who wanted to... I don't understand this at all. I mean, I understand how lonely they are and they think that's great, but if you need to trip a girl to wipe up your crotch when you're wearing jeans, and that's going to give you pleasure, my man needs to really gain some self-confidence, clean up himself, and go get a date, because goddamn, that shouldn't be pleasurable. But, I mean, I did like Keiichi trying to punch the dude. It was just disappointing that he ended up getting knocked out himself. It does make sense, the size difference. But this was one of the first times I honestly wished that the anime would have the anime protagonist just somehow one-shot KO the guy, just for plot convenience, but it was cute to see the aftermath and how she was just happy that he stood up for her. I think this episode, I mean, I never watched the original, of course, but I know some people have said, either the way they're moving can be a little too fast, and other people saying it's just oh, no, it's just like the original, except they're making these slight deviations that change everything. For me, it just feels like a lot's happening, a lot's being answered very quickly, but at the same time, I feel like with every answer, a few possibilities open up that could be brand new questions. Maybe they won't be questions, maybe they're red herrings, but at the end of the day, it actually feels to me that this show honestly has flawless pacing, at least for someone who's never experienced anything Higurashi before. There's always going to be the debates about, how to watch this show, but I mean, when the director and everyone's still saying, like, this is for everyone, and everyone's saying, like, I watched the original, I played the original game, I have no idea what's happening. New fans are saying, I have no idea what's happening. I think that's kind of the spirit of Higurashi, is the uncertainty of not knowing what's going to happen. And I think it's alive and well for different ways for everyone, and I think that's what makes it really interesting. I'm not sure where I want to put my thoughts in terms of, like, what's going to happen when they look in that shed. I feel like we're going to see tools, we're going to see bloody saws or bloody knives, things like that. A sacred shed that's used for rituals, and you're saying that every year people who are a part of the dam project are getting killed. It says to me that that's where the murder weapons, if not the bodies, are being stored to some extent, and I'm curious to see if it is bloody murder weapons, and our boy is like, oh shit, is he going to turn around to an ally, or is he going to turn around to someone who's going to take one of those weapons and kill him? I don't exactly know. To me, it feels like whichever sister he sides with is probably going to be on his good side, but at the same time, if you side with the sister, does that mean that's someone who's going to end up possessed? Because it kind of feels like Keiichi, anyone who he's like really interacting with, either running away or overly attached to, it seems like the so-called curse is happening. And the great thing to me is I honestly still don't know if the curse is real. This could just be a deranged syndrome where a town firmly believes that there is a curse, or maybe the actual killer is convinced as such. I don't know. It does feel like there still is that more supernatural element, especially considering we have the time travel angle, but just because we have the time travel angle doesn't mean there actually has to be a supernatural curse. It could just be a bunch of people who are mentally unstable, and Keiichi needs to actually, get them out of that mental state so they can survive the festival and things like that. I'm not sure how many times we're going to have to reset before he'll find a solution, or even if he's the one who will find a solution. It's very hard to say, because the amount of times you watch a Higurashi episode and you say, oh, this is exactly what should happen, they throw you something else. Like, I still don't know if Keiichi's the key to this or not. And that's a really fun feeling, because even though he seems like he's the front and center of all these arcs, I still don't know if he has the answer or if he's just causing the issues, and that's a pretty fun feeling. I said it back when we first saw the photographer guide that he could be our greatest antagonist, and I'm kind of going back on that thought process. Him and his lady friend just gave me some, EBGBs. I was like, I don't trust these people. Kind of trust Shion, but I kind of don't. I'm just more scared of her than anything, especially considering if the cops didn't show up, I'm pretty sure we would have seen all-out bloodshed. It's difficult to say what's going to happen next, but I think this episode just had that suspense, it had that lightheartedness and comfiness, but they also just made us so uncertain. The fact that you can actually reveal the truth about the sisters and have me even more confused about where it could go, I think leads to a lot of possibilities. I don't know who you should trust. I don't think you should be opening doors. I think our boy should go back to being a kid, playing video games, reading comic books, eating some chips, and drinking some soda, because it doesn't seem like trusting these people is getting him very far, but then again, what do I know? Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. Theories and speculations, what do you think is going to happen when you open that door if you're new to the series like myself? If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share, support, and hit that subscribe button if you're happy and new around here. So till next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.